What do you rate me?
So, Nicki Minaj put Kevin Samuels on her platform. She has almost 200 million followers on Instagram, and she went live. It's not like she intended to go live with him, but she went live and he came on and he requested to come on as she let him in. And it just seemed like she didn't do her due diligence. She didn't understand the scope of who she was allowing on. I think she said, she's seen his videos, this and that, but she doesn't know too much about him, or maybe she was denying it. But it's just so unfortunate that she would put somebody like him, who denigrates women, who disrespects especially black women. When you think about Nicki Minaj's audience, it's probably predominantly black women. And she's a role model. But there she goes, giving Kevin Samuels a platform. And I saw other creators comment on it, other creators in the manosphere comment on this and sort of say, wow, like Kevin Samuels has made it. She even invited him on Queen Radio. I just think that she's really silly for doing this. It's a mess. It's how do you give a man like him a platform? And you know what? What I found really interesting was when he came on her live, his tone was all soft. He wasn't giving her the attitude that he gives other people. Right? He was smiling ear to ear. He wasn't doing that for other. When you come on his show, he's already with an attitude, pouting, ready to diss you. But Nicki comes on and his whole demeanor is different. He's like a little fanboy. And she then proceeds, I don't know if she's trying to be humble or whatever she's trying to do, proceeds to allow him to rate her. It's all a mess. It's really just so silly of her. Not doing her due diligence, not understanding that this man, the way that he disrespects women is so offensive. And she's giving him a platform, giving more awareness to his brand with her almost 200 million followers. And she wonders why nobody puts her in the same category as Beyonce and Rihanna. Nicki Minaj, she just has a history of just foolery in the media. And I'm sorry to say it, but it just is what it is. And when you think about her just trying to get attention all the time, always trying to do something for attention. I think right now she has a single that she just released and she's putting out new music. So she's out here just making a fool out of herself. But she's done this before. She went viral in the fall just from like being silly. And she's just doing this stuff for attention. And maybe, yes, okay, it probably sells records, but you're actually a sellout. You're actually disrespecting, or you're promoting somebody, or you're elevating somebody that disrespects black women consistently. Then he had the nerve to go on her show and act like, oh, his content is so much more, like we only see the clips of his content. We don't see the full context. There's no reason that you would ever need to speak to women the way that he does. I don't care if I'm just seeing clips. Even if I saw clips, it shouldn't be that disrespectful. And for me, it's the women that call into his show. Those are the ones that I'm really upset at, that really give this man a platform. But aside from that, Nicki Minaj giving him a platform, Nicki Minaj stating that he should come on Queen Radio. Girl, do your research. All right, let's watch this video and react to this foolery, absolute stupidity. You're watching the Kenim O Show, and I'm your host, Kenim O. This video is brought to you by mintedculture.com, where you can check out all of my content. I have several channels across social media: Brand Video Pro, the Kenim O Show, Stream OVG, and Stream OVG Business. But if you head on over to mintedculture.com, you can check out all my content in one place. Also, when you go on the website, you can book a one-on-one consultation or strategy call with me, and I can give you tips, tricks, and strategies in business, filmmaking, media, Web3, NFTs, all of the above. So head on over to mintedculture.com to find out more.
So I want to talk to you.
Okay. What are we talking about?
Also, she seems like she's high. I don't know if she's high, but she seems high. But also notice how his whole demeanor, like I should pull up a clip with him and another, like, another one of his clips where he disrespects women. His demeanor is just so different right now. He's just, look at him.
Well, what do you rate me?
Is that what we're starting off with?
Yeah.
Do you think the men rate women?
See, I love how he's like trying to deflect. Like he knows that, of course, men rate women. That's all they do on their Manosphere YouTube channels and podcasts all day, is rate women. And he's trying to deflect because he doesn't want to have to rate her, because he knows her audience is gonna, But what is really irritating to me here is that this is a woman that has been pedestalized by the world. Like, I mean, she's a superstar, even though she's declining right now. But she's a superstar. She's mainstream. She's a megastar. She has almost 200 million followers on social media. She's huge. That's her Instagram. She's huge. She's a huge star. So she's trying to act like she's an everyday girl who will just go on Kevin Samuels' show, even though he's on her Instagram. But like, she's trying to act like, oh, like I'm just like you guys, everybody. Like, she's just trying to be relatable to her audience. But for me, what it does is it sort of it elevates him in a way that I don't think that he deserves to be elevated. It gives him a position of power that he shouldn't, like he hasn't earned it. He doesn't deserve it. He's extremely disrespectful. It's almost like giving Donald Trump, a platform. Like what Kanye West did for Donald Trump. That's what Nicki Minaj is doing for Kevin Samuels. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But let's keep going.
No, I thought, because isn't that what you do?
What have you seen of my content? Have you just seen like the clips?
Ain't nobody need to see your dumb, I'm sorry. Ain't nobody need to see your stupid ass content. What are you talking about? Nobody needs to see his content to know, like, I get it. Even me as a content creator, I create clips, I put them online, and then people just see one tiny clip and they miss the whole point of the entire video. They start arguing, and they are normally just like restating things that I said in the full video. And so that really annoys me. So I get where he's coming from. But at the end of the day, the way that he speaks to, even in the clips that we see, the way that he speaks to these women is so unacceptable, and he always likes to paint himself like he's some, altruistic savior that's helping women get married, especially black women. It's BS.
Yeah. I think I always see people calling you and then you tell them, you ain't no such and such. You lying to yourself. You ain't this.
What I typically don't do is I don't typically rank people. I ask them if they rank themselves. I usually ask these questions.
So let's start it that way.
Yeah. How tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
Dress size?
My dress size?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think? What do you think this was?
Brenda Don said, like, my dress.
She's acting like she hasn't. Okay, maybe she hasn't seen his videos, because like that's a standard. That's his follow-up question. Height, dress size, because he's trying to measure what you look like. And look at him smiling from ear to ear like a freaking nerd, just so excited. Oh my God, he doesn't know if she's gonna like flip on him.
My dress size. That's a good question. I guess a 4.
All right. And on a scale from 1 to 10, you can't use 7. What would you rank yourself? Fresh face out of the shower, just you.
Yeah.
That's how I always ask the question.
7.
Can't use 7. That's why 7 is the most common answer.
Guys, I want you guys to see how soft his tone is. It's just so soft, because when you see him denigrating women and the way when women come on his show, he already has an attitude. He's already asking them questions like who the hell are you to come on my show? But now he sees Nicki Minaj. He wants to be probably her image consultant. He wants to get a check out of her, or at least some publicity out of her. So he is straight up kissing ass. Like, he is, yo. If I could describe the visual of what he's doing right now, it's pathetic. But he's trying to like seem like he's playing it off like he's cool, like he can handle this, like he's a masculine frame. But inside he's screaming like a little girl, like like a teenage girl. You can see it all over in his, just how relaxed his face is, how soft his tone is. He doesn't want to upset her. Let's keep going.
Really?
It's the default answer for most people because they don't want to go too high, they don't want to go too low.
Well, no, it ain't a default answer for me.
Well, let's see.
Now he's just about to kiss that ass. He is out here kissing ass. Let's keep going though.
I will give you a 9. I will give you a 9.
Oh my God, he is. I mean, look, she's a beautiful woman. She probably is a 10 actually. But he's still trying to kiss ass because she gave herself a 7, so it's like she's being humble. And again, her giving herself a 7, she don't think she's no damn 7. But sometimes maybe she has like body dysmorphia, maybe she's insecure. A lot of like beautiful women are insecure and assume that they're low, but she doesn't want to seem egotistic, and she doesn't want she wants to seem like she's like everybody else. She's being relatable. Her even giving him this platform, asking him these questions. She's trying to act like she's just the average girl that comes on his show. But Nicki Minaj, you are a multi-millionaire. You ain't no average girl. Let's keep going.
Because you have the facial symmetry and you get additional points.
He's just doing his best because he knows he's capping, right? Because if he can, like, let me explain it. Let me break it down for you. It's not like I don't think she's a 10. I think Nicki Minaj is a 10. Like, I would say Nicki Minaj, okay, let's put it like this, right? I say her body is a 10. Her body is a 12. And then her face is probably a 7, right? So what's the average of that, right? 7 plus 12 equals divided by 2. She's a 9.5 in my view. Right, that's how I calculate a Nicki Minaj. But we know that this is Kevin Samuels, infamous for saying Beyonce is a 7, infamous for saying Saweetie, I think he said Saweetie was a 6. So we know that he doesn't think she's whatever he's claiming right now, because Beyonce has the same symmetries in her face. Beyonce has the same, Nicki Minaj has the same booty that Saweetie has. So he knows that he is capping based on the image that he's projected to the world, or the person that he's projected to the world. He knows that she does not think that or maybe he does think it deep down, but the way that he was coming for Beyonce and Saweetie, on that scale, he does not think Nicki Minaj is no 9. But right now he's looking for a check, so he's capping and he's trying to make some story up right now to justify it. And notice how he like slid in there. Oh, he's an image consultant. So maybe she could hire him. That's why he's kissing ass, but he's a mess.
For eyes, full lips. See, it's not. I'm an actual image consultant, and I'm sure you dealt with a lot of people who take your pictures and such and so forth. You have a symmetrical face. And so it's much more based upon facial symmetry. It's not based on European beauty standards or anything like that. It's much more based upon what babies, animals, human beings have evolved to find attractive.
Beyonce has a symmetrical face. It's more symmetrical than Nicki Minaj. And you gonna call Beyonce a 7. This man.
Wow.
You get additional points because we've evolved to find more slanted eyes somewhat attractive, especially when they're not on Asian.
Wow.
Oh my God, the ass kissing is so much. You get additional points. If you don't, this man, stop it. And look at him spewing out racist nonsense. What kind of nonsense is he saying on his platform? He's just like racist, sexist, misogynistic piece of, the rest.
Oh, wow.
But that's not what gets translated. Most of the time, people take my clips and cut it down to something that's gonna make a viral moment. It's gonna start a conversation. Take the good with the bad.
Ain't nobody see nothing you do, because what do you do? What do you do? When you look at he can't even get nice camera angles. He can't even like you making all this money, you can't even hire a cameraman so you can get better shots. Your stuff looks low quality. Everything about you, your ideals are low quality. And you want to call yourself a high value man, you're a low quality man. Coming up on Nicki Minaj. And Nicki Minaj, man, this woman does not have any sense. Does not have any sense. I think she's high right now. So like, I might excuse her because she looks like she's high.
I saw one time when you checked this lady for, I guess it was a white lady or a Hispanic lady, and you was like, oh, you're not going to come on this show and talk down on black women. That's what the fuck you're not going to do.
So I don't know if she's trying to play into his BS and act like she's cool with him. Or maybe that's exactly what she saw. But he also has women on his show. And they denigrate black women. And he elevates them for doing it. He'll actually go on his show. He'll have a panel and he'll ask people, why can't black women marry? And he's asking people for the Hispanic, and then they're out there disrespecting black women. So this narrative that he's trying to push here is a lie. Whatever they're trying to push here, maybe Nicki Minaj doesn't know the rest of his content. I don't think she's very well versed in his content, which is like terrible because her team need to sit her down and say, Nicki, you can't be elevating people like Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
And so again, that was a clip. I didn't see the context really, but
well, I get a rap of hating black women.
You sure do.
And it's far from that. I mean, there are over 50 black women who report that they've gotten married as a result of watching my content in the last year.
Really?
It's on my Instagram. I actually had a young sister just post up saying, hey, as a result of you, I snatched the ring.
Cap. Wow, this man. He's getting people married. He's getting people into miserable marriages. Like his 2 failed marriages. He's getting people into miserable marriages by making women compromise who they are and their integrity and their self-worth. Denigrating women, suppressing women, making sure women stay as low as possible. That's what he does on his platform. So yeah, sure, you could get married, but is that marriage gonna last? Is it going to last? Or are you going to sell your soul for marriage? That's what he's promoting on his platform. I can't stand this man. And Nicki Minaj, she's like lost so much. Like it's bad enough what she did in the fall, all the stuff she was saying in the fall and trying to cover up, her husband. Let me even break down a little bit about Nicki Minaj. This woman has a history of either dating or supporting men that are quote unquote dusties. Men that I know her brother, I think he raped somebody. I'll put the stuff in there. I think her brother raped someone. Her husband, I think it was, I don't know if he was convicted, so I'll say allegedly. Her brother raped someone. Her husband is actually a sex offender. So had sex with a minor. He's also committed manslaughter, went to jail for that. He's been in and out of jail. Then there's the other people that she dated, like Safari, who sort of was like a hypergamous user that used her to climb up. Then she had Nas, who has a history of domestic violence, DV, with Khalees. Then, who else did she date? Meek Mill. I mean, he was in and out of jail. I don't know, like Nicki Minaj doesn't have a history of dating quote unquote high value black men or men in general. She doesn't have that history. So I can understand why she would want to go to someone like Kevin Samuels. But at the same time, because of her lack of dating high value men, and high value does not mean how much money is in their bank account, but also their morals and all these things. It's no wonder she would elevate somebody like a Kevin Samuels who sits there all day denigrating women, disrespecting women. Just look at his tone when he's talking to women. Look at his tone. The moment they come on his show, he's already got attitude. But when he's talking to Nicki Minaj, he's looking for a check. He's looking for elevation. He's looking for, to get on her platform. So he's out here grinning from ear to ear, smiling, kissing ass, capping. I can't stand this man.
I actually posted a brother who was about to move to the Dominican Republic, and he found his wife in my Facebook.
All of this that he's doing right now is he's trying to advertise his services so people can pay him. And he's doing it on Nicki Minaj's platform. So think about how much money he's going to make from this plug that he's making right now. So this is what Nicki Minaj is doing. She's putting more money in his pocket. This is the same person that was making $900 a couple years ago. $900 a month a couple years ago. Talk about he's a high value man. I mean, he made it through YouTube. Respect that he made it through YouTube. It's not easy to become a YouTuber and whatever. But before YouTube, he wasn't making nothing.
Like 12 couples have gotten married in there. But that stuff doesn't get publicized. But when I'm talking about relationships, I'm talking about men and women, but because I'm Black, I'm talking about us. And from time to time, I would bring stuff in, and then a lot of times sisters would say, well, men, when they get to a certain level, they only want white women or this or that. So I let women from other races come in. I'm like, okay, well, can you learn anything from them? What would you teach them? And the one woman came in, and she thought she was going to do what I did to Black women. I'm like, hold on.
You see how he's lying now? He's now saying that when other races come on his show, he wants them to teach Black women stuff. Nah, they come on his show, he asks them questions like, why aren't Black women getting married? And the funny thing about that question is that, well, Black women don't get married because Black men don't get married. Black men do not get married. I'll probably put some stats up. And since men are the gatekeepers of marriage, they're the ones that propose. Women could propose in this day and age, but it makes no sense to propose to a man that doesn't want to get married. But Black men don't marry because, and you can watch a video, maybe I'll link it here, where I broke down the history of slavery, the history of, the American white supremacy breaking up the Black marriage. So now Black men for hundreds of years, probably 500 years, have not been conditioned to get married. So to expect them to get married now, they're not going to do it. But when he's now denigrating women for the fact that Black men are the ones who are the gatekeepers of marriage, don't get married, that's not Black women's fault. That's Black men's fault. Right? But then they'll flip it and say, oh, Black women are not marriageable. Yet Black women are the most educated in America. But they want to keep, these dating coaches, they want to keep Black people poor. Because Black women are now the gatekeepers of Black economic empowerment in this country. And so these people are actually giving you the opportunity to come out of poverty. Black women are giving you the opportunity to come out of poverty, but you want to suppress a Black woman from making money. You say stuff like, we don't care about that, which is not true. Yes, maybe the ones that are in the middle class don't care, and that's a stretch. Maybe upper middle class, let's say 6-figure earners, don't care. Don't necessarily care about their women making more money, but anyone that's making less than $50,000 a year wants their women to be able to bring something to the table. So this is a lie that they're spreading, that men don't care how much money women make. Because majority of Black men in America, look at the median income, majority of Black men in America need somebody to help support a household if they get married. So this is a lie. And so this mentality, they're trying to school Black women to stay out of school. We don't care about your degrees. We don't care about you making enough money. We don't care about you being a boss chick. That's not true. You need boss chicks what is happening is so many are living below the poverty line, and so many black women are elevating because they learned the mistakes from their parents. They learned the mistakes from the previous generations, and they're avoiding these toxic relationships. And so they're focusing on their career so they can provide for a family. This is what is happening. And these black men, because women are hypergamous, so they're not going to elevate these men up with them. If it was a man would elevate a woman if he came out of poverty. But the women aren't doing it. And these men are upset that the women aren't doing it. So what do? They go online and they denigrate women. But I can agree that women can work on helping these men. But the thing is, you have to help those who will help themselves. Because I am not a supporter of struggle love. I'm not a supporter of, these toxic situations that struggle love and black. I'm not going to call Blackistan, but oh God, I don't want to say Blackistan. But you know what I'm saying. But there's some YouTube channels that break this down really well. You guys should go check them out. Lexus Exodus is a great one. Mahogany Pink is a great one. And so black women need to elevate and stop saying this narrative that black women should stop elevating, because black women are probably black people's chance out of poverty. So stop trying to keep black people down by saying black women shouldn't get educated. Okay, let's keep going.
Oh, wait. Now, we can talk this way. Karen, you sit your ass down over there. Because I don't play that. I wouldn't let, despite popular opinion.
I'm going to skip this cap because he's talking nonsense.
Can I say something real quick? Black women, can we stop talking about if these niggas want us or not? Excuse me, Kevin. This is not. I'm talking to black women real quick.
You see, this is the narrative that he denigrates on his podcast. When women start talking like this, Nicki Minaj is saying, women, focus on your being a boss, focus on all this stuff, and then you can get any man you want. That's what she's trying to say, right? That is the exact thing that Kevin Samuels denigrates women for on his podcast, on his platform. Disrespectful. When they talk about, oh, I make 6 figures, so I deserve a man that makes 6 figures too. He says, no, you don't. And disses them, disrespects them. But one thing I will say is that Nicki Minaj is an example of a woman that made it and was very successful. Then she picked a man that was living in, had nothing, probably penniless because he came out of jail, right? So I think on that front, maybe Kevin Samuels respects her a little bit because she's lifting black men out of poverty. She's lifted quite a few black men out of poverty. So he respects that. But that idea of lifting black men out of poverty, when I've seen it in the real world, I've just seen women come out of it either beat down, used and abused. And there are even statistics that show that men that marry women that are richer than them cheat. They cheat more than men that are richer than their wives. So we can already see why it's a problem when men are hypergamous.
Can we stop posting all day on TikTok? Because I newly went to TikTok and I just kept seeing this. Black women, can we stop talking about if these successful black men want us or not? Like, can we just focus on us and we be successful, and then we go out there and we decide who the fuck we want? Because what I've been seeing is, I feel like I've been seeing men using that as an opportunity because they've been hurt and somebody done and they've been using it as a way to come out and lash out and poke fun at black women and use it as a way to feel like they somebody or they something. Or so for all you niggas that's doing that on TikTok, wherever the fuck y'all at, eat a dick, go away. Nobody gives a shit about you. And I want black women to stop fucking posting about whether or not y'all want black women or not. Okay? Well, I want black women just to focus on themselves.
She's talking about Fresh and Fit. If you haven't seen the infamous video, here it is.
Hey, bro, if you want to date a bunch of Shaniquas, go for it, man.
LaQuisha.
Yeah, like me and Fresh aren't really down with the brown like that. Man. We ain't night riders.
Nah,
So
bro, I'm good.
Sometimes if they're, Redbone, but like in general, me and Fresh don't dabble in the dark, if you know what I'm saying.
That's what she's referring to. But funny enough, she's disrespecting these people. That's what Kevin Samuels does. So she's out here disrespecting him, or dissing him for what he does, but she's giving him a platform because she's not aware of who he really is.
Successful, and then you go out there and you decide the trajectory of your life. Okay?
Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of hurt on both sides, and especially in the Black community, we don't really do a lot with counseling, therapy. I recommend therapy often because we got a lot of stuff individually that we want to deal with. And marriage and relationships are not for everybody. And I'm just ultimately I ask people, what do you want? What do you want? And what are you prepared to do to get what?
So him saying marriage and relationships aren't for everyone, he's directly referencing the fact that Black men have a history of, learning that they should not get married. That's it's not for everyone. It's not because most people haven't been taught how to get married. Most people haven't seen it, especially in the Black community, in their family. They haven't seen marriage. But let's keep going.
What you want, and are you willing to pay that cost? It's really the conversation, but it always gets kind of whittled down. But at the end of the day, what we are seeing is, especially if you're under 30, it's harder for guys today under 30 than it was from 50 years ago, because you can't take care of a family on out of high school or just coming out. So they're at the bottom.
You see, that's another thing that he's not including. It's the problem with why it's harder for specifically Black men is because the American system is designed to keep them in prison. So there's a large, population of Black men that are going in and out of jail. So that's one component, right? Then the next component is the fact that a large population of Black men don't finish university. So you're a unicorn as a Black man if you finish university, because university, your chances of getting, substantial income once you come out of university is higher than if you don't have a degree. So those are the things that are against Black men. But at the end of the day, the power is, go to school, stay in school, get a degree, stay out of the streets, stop shooting each other, get a degree.
And I just had men speak, and I told guys, look, while you're under 30, work on getting yourself together, because like it or not, you're really not in a position like you should be to be able to work with, lead, do anything like that. And you see the hate, not the hate, but the hurt on both sides, because a lot of times people will use these talking points to go at and poke women over here, but that's not what's going on right now. This year, we're past the sound. I mean, we still laugh. We still do all that stuff. We're talking about self-awareness and moving the needle. I'm in LA tomorrow talking with a famous sexologist, a womanist, feminist, to talk about things that I might.
All right, I'm changing this. I'm stopping right here. He's going to talk with Shan Booty. I'm a fan of her channel. I've been watching it for years, a long time. So I can't wait to see that, because she's the complete opposite of what a Kevin Samuels is. And it's not as though they have an equal, platform. I think they have around the same followers. So it's not like she's giving him a platform, but it would be good to see somebody that like her, that's super educated on, sex and relationships, talk to somebody like him who isn't, who just kind of made his way, out of nowhere. Image consulting has nothing to do necessarily with relationships and all these things. But yeah, so it's interesting to see her educate him on feminism and all that stuff, and really get into the underbelly and understand, why does he denigrate women? Why is he so disrespectful to women? This is really what I want her to focus on, or at least not focus on, but, try and understand that from him. Because one thing I know about him is that when you watch him speaking to these women on these podcasts, he's so disrespectful. But the moment that, he's either on somebody else's platform, if it's a white man, his tone, or he's talking to a pretty woman, His tone is softer. He look at how he's talking to Nicki Minaj. So I'm sure he's not going to go to Shan's platform and disrespect her. I mean, she's in a way, both of these women are married, so he would put them on a higher pedestal, right? Because they don't need anything from him. But I really just don't understand why these women call into his show so he can denigrate them, disrespect them, and just, put black women to shame, put black women down, put black women down generally. It's just really offensive. Anyway, their conversation about black men, interesting that he shifted it that way. In a way, I can see where Nicki Minaj agrees with him. She's saying women should stop talking about this. But Nicki Minaj is also a woman that married somebody that was literally penniless, probably, So she's actually what, the manosphere, especially black men in the manosphere, look up to. That's what they want. They will encourage black women to make a lot of money if that black woman lifts people out of poverty. But the problem that they're failing to understand is when men are given the opportunity like that, when men are given opportunities of hypergamy, they are typically toxic. There are too many stories that I've seen, friends, family, I've seen it. And nobody wants to live like that. That's why women don't want to date down, especially women that are super successful, because nobody wants struggle love. So if these men work on, it just seems like a norm here in America where black men are no longer breadwinners, right? And so the roles have switched in this community because black women are more educated, the most educated group in America. Black women are elevating. They're owning businesses. They're making a lot of money. Black women are doing very well. So it's looking like, in order, unless they divest and start marrying other races, which is an option, if they want to pick from the pool of black men, they will have to pick men that are not on their level. But these men need to sort of learn, go to therapy, stay out of jail, get a basic education, and maybe you could be a house husband like Nicki Minaj's husband. And I don't think it's I know a lot of YouTubers come down on men that do this and want to take the female role. I don't think it's a problem. I don't. But for me, where I see the problem is toxic love and abuse. That's where I see the problem. Like, you can't be poor and toxic. You can't be rich and toxic either. But the fact that a man like this is typically poor, in and out of jail, and abusive, and cheats, and does all these things, black women don't want it. They don't want it. And, I broke down in another video, I'll put a snippet here. Jordan Peterson talked about why women are hypergamous. That's the case. Nobody wants to struggle. It's very difficult as a woman because once you give birth to a kid, you can't work. And if the man isn't equipped to work and at least take care of the household, whilst the woman is taking care of the kids, well, that presents a problem. Either way, those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. You're watching The Kenim O Show, and I'm your host, Kenim O. See you next time.